Hello. Well, I just got a new book that looked pretty good, and I thought I'd read it to you. I've never read this one either, so we can discover it together. This is called FEDGE Makes a Wish. Here's the inside cover. Look at all that stuff. And the book is written and illustrated, that means the pictures, by Jeffrey Comanor. Look at that big pink red bird and that green whatever it is. We'll find out. Somewhere in the great blue ocean on a faraway island called Dandy, there lived a friendly dragon called FEDGE. FEDGE wished he was a flying dragon. Sometimes he liked to sing about flying, and he would even dream about it sometimes. Most of the times, FEDGE was very happy. He and his friends, Snort and Huff, would play and enjoy every day that came along. But every now and then they would have to hide in the jungle from the great hairy condor, Snooch. A condor is a big, big bird. It wasn't so much that Snooch was really bad. He just had a terrible habit of picking things up from one place and putting them down in another place. And even worse than that, he would forget where he had put them, so he couldn't take them back where they belonged. Maybe you know somebody like Smooch. There's all that stuff that he put somewhere he could not put back. One day, FEDGE was walking by the beach, and he saw a giant storm heading straight for Dandy Island. Oh, this is a two-page picture. There's the storm coming toward the island. Big storm. At first, the wind was not too strong. It only picked up a few leaves. Then the trees started to bend low, and soon things were flying through the air. In fact, the wind was so strong, you would have to hold on to something to keep from being blown away. So would I. That shows the writer of the book how he would have to hold on to a tree to keep from being blown away. FEDGE hung on for all he was worth. As he was hanging onto the tree, he saw the Snooch take off, start flying into the wind. Suddenly, a big, scary wave jumped up. The wave caught the Snooch by surprise. He knocked the Snooch into the water, and that's when the Snooch found out he couldn't swim. Maybe he had never even tried before. FEDGE thought to himself, somebody's got to help that poor Snooch. He crawled to a fallen branch and he pushed it into the stormy water. He's being very brave, you see. At first, FEDGE could hardly get anywhere in the wild waves. But he wouldn't quit, and soon he was on his way to save the Snooch. The Snooch grabbed hold of the branch, and together FEDGE and the Snooch fought their way back to shore. When they were safe, the Snooch said two words that he had never said before. He said, "Thank you." "You saved me," said the Snooch. "You are my first real friend. There's something I want to do for you." And with that, the Snooch flew away. Fedge waited and waited and waited. One day, not too much later, Fedge saw a red dot in the sky. Do you know what it was? Guess what it was? Question mark. He can make himself into a question mark. Look at that. Look at that. It was. You're right. It was the great Snooch flying back to Dandy Island. The Snooch was smudged with smoke, and around his neck there was a strange little pouch hanging. The Snooch said, "I've been to an island where dragons live. On that island is a huge volcano, and on the very top there's a magic dust that comes from the fire inside the volcano. It's called dragon dust, and it has the power to make a dragon's wish come true." As the Snooch sprinkled the magic dust over him, Fedge wished very hard. He said, "I wish I had wings like the Snooch." Suddenly, an amazing thing began to happen. Little bumps started to grow on Fedge's shoulders, and they grew some more until they were wonderful big wings. Fedge couldn't believe his eyes. He began to flap his wings faster and faster. Suddenly, Fedge was in the air. He climbed, he swooped, he hovered, and he even flew upside down. It was a glorious day on Dandy Island. The Snooch had new friends. Snort and Huff didn't have to hide because the Snooch was too busy having fun to carry anything off. And as for Fedge, it was the happiest day of his life. There he goes. Onward. Imagine if you could fly. The end. Onward.